So what we have here, guys, is SNOW, ticker symbol SNOW. I have been day trading this for some time. That's why you see all these marks on here. So when you take a look at the charts, you can see this is the 1 minute chart, which is typically what I use when I'm day trading. But you can see it. There's many different key pivot points on the day trade that I use. And here I was trading to the downside. And then when it broke above my lines that I drawn, I started trading it back up to the upside. And now it's at a point where it's crossing some major support area, or what was resistance area. The other thing that I had noticed before was that there's a W formation that has been formed. And for those of you that are not clear with what a W formation is, it's a very powerful bullish formation. So you can see the leg down here. So that's from about the early February timeframe. And then you see it coming down here to about the March 14th timeframe, bounces up a little bit at this point here. And that's about March 1st timeframe. And then it drops and it pulls down to that 126 area. So on a W formation, the second leg down is usually, to be a true W formation, is further than that first leg that you see right here. So it passes that, which this one did. And what that does is it shakes out all the weaker investors that are worried. It's, oh my gosh, this thing's going to crash. And that's what this does. And so the W formation had formed right here. And then you wait for things like, so here I have the RSI, which I rarely use the RSI, to be honest. When I'm day trading, I might use it, but I typically use my MACD, and you can see the MACD curling up. And if we zoom in, we start to see that just today, you can't really see it with all my other lines drawn here. I'll have to take these off, but it's just crossing. The 8 and 21 are about to cross to the upside. So you may get a little bit of that resistance. You can see that here at this key area. So you have the diagonal line here, and you have the horizontal line here, and that's at 157.65. And you can see it touched there. It surpassed that today, came up, and that gave major resistance, and it's pulled back a little bit. So I'm going to see if it pulls back a little bit more, but nevertheless holds above this area here, which is about 146 area. And then I'm looking to make a play back up to the upside, because I do believe this has plenty of room for growth. And usually when you have a W formation, you have the leg down, you have a leg down, then you have it up to the upside, then you have it down to shake out the rest of the investors. When it pulls back up, it will surpass this area right here, which is the 316, 319, 320 area. It'll surpass that and go higher. And I want to be a part of that ride. So if I'm doing an option trade, which I will do on this trade here, what I'd like to be able to do is to see how far I can go out, because it may take a while for this to, it may happen very quickly, but chances are it's going to take a while, especially in this market, to really take a run. So I want to see on an options market, and I've made a lot of money on this type of trade in the past, where great stocks have bottomed out. I don't know if I'll go January 24th. January 23, that's not a lot of time really for what I'm trying to do. What is that? This is January, this is the 2022. So this may not be a lot of time. Maybe the July, or maybe the Jan 24th. Let me take a look at this. And there's activity there as well. So on this, I don't want to go too far out of the money, but I'm not going to go deep in the money like I usually do. We're at 157 right now. Would I consider the 200s? I might consider the 200s. The 160s, the 200s. So I break even without including any type of extrinsic value. My break even here would be the 200 plus, let's say 4150. Of course, we look to get it lower than that, but would be, what is that? 241.50. So if it got to that 320 area that we were looking at, or even just say 300 area, there'd be $100 of intrinsic value. So you'd have more than a double if it got to 300. You'd have more than a double on your hands if it got to 300, because this would be worth, in just intrinsically would be worth 100, and we're paying $41.50 for it. So and you got a lot of time to do that. So along the way, you could do this. You could do the 200s, and you could sell calls against it. So let me take a look at this just real quickly. I could sell the 200s, because do I think by June, it's going to go from 160 to 200? Could it? It could. I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible. If it did, I could close out the trade, take a little bit of loss on this, depending on how far away it went. Your break even on this would be 205.90, 205.60. You could do that. So that's something I might consider to shave off, you know, some money along the way on your original cost basis. So it's just something to think about. I have to think through this, but that wouldn't be a bad trade. I'd have to keep an eye on it. I don't think Snow would go a 40-point movement. Well, I mean, today it's up 16 points, so anything's possible. You'd have to just keep an eye on it, but this might not be a bad trade to take. I got to take a look and now do the mathematics to see which one makes the best sense, but it's probably going to be an option that's somewhere between the 160 and the 200. And I'm highly likely to do the Jan 2024s, because I want to take advantage and ride. If you really believe in the stock like I do, I really want to ride that wave all the way up, and maybe selling call options against it. And you could all at the same time, you could not only sell call options against it, but you could go below the area. So let's say you could sell puts against it, but you got to be careful with that, because you have to have the money in your account if you're assigned it. But you could take a look and say, what are you comfortable acquiring? And you could sell calls, or could sell puts against the trade as well, and collect that premium too. A lot of things you could do on that particular trade. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I'll catch up with you a little bit later. Thanks, guys.